corporate recruiter here to get you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a full stack software engineer. This is a garbage resume. I know this before I see it because of their ratio. Ratio is how many applications it takes to get an interview, and you can tell how good your resume is based on those. Not counting November, December, because those months are wacky for recruiters. So this person has over 150 applications to get a single interview, which means this is a bad resume. So what I would be looking for in a resume is specifically in a software engineer full stack, which, by the way, I do other non-tech roles. It's just 50% of the people that send me resumes are in tech, so that's why the most of them are tech, is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, and bonus points for that stuff. And my theory, before I read this has too many hot dogs and not enough hamburgers, and I will explain that to you after we review that if this is the case. So, does this person have too many hot dogs? We will find out. We only have 20 seconds to find what we need. That's it. That's all the time recruiters get. And go. Okay. Integrated Gmail API to process via an LLM extract, structured in normal database. Nope. Yep. Too many hot dogs. Not enough hamburgers. Okay. Again, that's not... I need to see how that is. Spring Boot and Angular. JWT. And that's it. That's all. All right. So, to explain hot dogs versus hamburgers, imagine you are hungry and you want, above all else, a hamburger. Nothing else will satisfy that hunger but a hamburger. So you go to a restaurant and you say, hey, I want a hamburger, like a plain burger with cheese. So you order it. They come back. They give you a hot dog. And you say, well, this is not what I ordered. I want a hamburger. And they say, well, both have meat. Both involve buns. Both can put ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise on it, unless you like the Chicago dog style, which I actually do. But so why don't you like this? Like, well, I wanted a hamburger. And this is what this person did. These are the keywords. Keywords are a part of qualifications. Qualifications are what we recruiters are looking for. So a qualification is a keyword, which is a skill, plus how you used it, plus the reason or result of you using it, plus where you used it. All of those combine to make a qualification, which is what recruiters are looking for, which is, in this case, a hamburger. The problem is, you did not put that. You put stuff that is tangentially related to hamburger, hence, this stuff is hot dogs. You put, like, OpenAI and DeepSeek and LLM extract structured data and personalized service using LLMs. Those things are hot dogs. They are related to hamburgers, but not what we want. So, your problem is you just did not put this stuff in. You just need this stuff, right? Like, we're not necessarily, like, the API part, yeah, that could be considered a hamburger, but the rest of this isn't. Like, where is the TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML? You stated that you are a full stack software engineer. I don't see anything involving that. Where's the TypeScript? Where's the JavaScript? Where's the HTML? Where's the CSS? Again, it's not here because you did not tell me how you use that or the reason or result. So this part and everything here in this section does not count. And then we go down to here, full stack, cool, using Spring Boot and Angular. All right, that's some of the stuff I'm looking for. But where's the JavaScript, the CSS, the HTML? I don't care that you reduced processing time by 40 hours monthly. That's not a requirement. That's not a hamburger. You can look to find these in the job descriptions, right? No role is going to say must have reduced processing time by 40 hours monthly to get an interview. This is not what recruiters or hiring managers are looking for, nor JWT. They are looking for very specifically the words TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Sometimes you can get away with not putting TypeScript by putting in another backend language, such as .NET or Python or Java, which in this case I believe you are a Java backend developer. Full stack with Java, since I see a lot of the Spring Boot. But I still need this stuff. You cannot put it here. Also, the rest of the formatting is kind of hard to read. This is the formatting you should use. This is how you do it. It's on my website and in the link tree below. But yeah, you just don't have what they're looking for, right? Like, this is the problem, is you put in you gave me a bunch of hot dogs, You did not give me hamburgers. This is what recruiters need. This is what hiring managers need. It's not HR. It's the hiring managers. They're the ones who make this. I feel like there's a big misconception where people are like, oh, recruiters only want X and Y. It's like, yeah, because we get that from the hiring manager. It's the hiring manager that wants that. This is what we need. And this stuff contains some of it, but it needs to be here. It needs to be here. It cannot be off in the corner. So the reason you're struggling is, well, also you may or may not need a immigration services. I don't know, based on how you wrote this, but I need to, like, seriously, you need this stuff. Like, everybody, and this is the big thing, is everybody keeps giving us hot dogs. They don't give us hamburgers. Give us these. These are it. These are the only things that matter. The only things. If it's not one of these things, it doesn't matter. And every role has this stuff. Every job title has very specific qualifications they're looking for, and the most common mistake candidates make is they will give us the adjacent stuff and not the actual stuff that we need. So that's all I can do for this resume, because again, it just does not have it. You basically wasted all of this space. There's nothing here. Yeah, here still, like 40% down here, nothing. So please put it in here, right? And then this doesn't count, so put it in here, because this is what we're actually looking for. And this is the biggest mistake I see everybody make, is everybody tries to put in these percentages or reduced hours by showing impact, but that's not impact. This is impact. This is how you do it. So before we go to the next resume, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. And if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I record these and I find these. And yeah, I also wanted to thank all my members on YouTube. I appreciate you all very much. You all get a little bit early access to some of the videos before they go up to public. So thank you again for everybody who's a member, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a project control manager, but they actually said that I am a project control manager, but I am currently trying to get into project management. So this is not a project controls manager. This is a project manager. And what we need for a project manager is details about how and why you did X. This is the most important thing. My goodness, you need to tell me how you did what you did. Specifically for managers, the how is almost more important than the what, right? Like the how you did stuff is so critically important, and a lot of people don't say it. They just said solved our problem. Like, cool, I need to know how you did it. So how you made things happen compared to how you did things, which is slightly different. So again, as a project manager, you are not the one doing the things yourself. You're getting other people to do it, and I need to see how you got other people to do that. I also want to see PMP or CSM certs. Those are pretty huge. How you talk to customers and stakeholders, agile, your individual industry. Again, individual industry is just like, I can't be in every industry, so yeah, I guess you're in construction or power generation, so there are going to be a couple of keywords there that I'm just not going to be able to find. In this case, I actually want numbers. I want to know the number of team members. How many? What was the budget? This is important. You don't need this for IC roles, such as software engineer. You do need it for project manager and other manager roles. Even though project manager is not necessarily real manager roles, it's kind of in between an IC and a manager role, and it is debated apparently hotly. So then number of projects and budget, multitask, how you use the resources for success, and again, how you influenced people along with Jira, Confluence, and MS Project. So can I find this in 20 seconds? I don't know. This person says they have a 1 in 50, so I don't know if that's accurate, but maybe it's actually good despite the horrible formatting that I can see out of the corner of my eye. So go. Okay. Can't use this. Kind of, because it's a project manager. Gas turbine, leading team in erection of a gas turbine. Achieving mitigated. That's actually not bad. Pretty okay. Project controls, led planning and execution. Okay. Yeah, that I was expecting you were incorrect about that. Your bullet points are actually kind of good. Your formatting is horrendous, though. Absolutely horrendous. So here's what you need to do. Fix it. Make it look like this. Cert-wise, I don't think you need all of this. I don't think the Kaggle is needed. I don't actually know what Kaggle is. This might be industry specific. You definitely need the PMP though, which I actually don't see the PMI. Oh, there's the PMP. Duh. Okay. So we need to shrink it down, and what you should do is only have 3 here, and then the first line is like your BA, then it's the PMP, PMI cert, or the RMP and the PMP cert, and then you kind of just say also certified in, and then list these so it fits in one line. Then, again, you need your formatting to be like this. Core skills can be deleted. Again, that is not a qualification. It needs to be in a bullet point. And languages, really good. Actually should go right here or under this. It's always good to show multiple languages. And then for the bullet points itself, I think you need to format these into the first sentence, but otherwise these are mostly good bullet points. So, and I'd always rather have somebody have bad formatting than bad bullet points. Hopefully you have both, but yeah, again, these are relatively good. Leading side team and the starting of a 7H gas turbine, that tells me what it is. That's the industry. Cool generators. Again, I kind of wish you wrapped these together into one. Then mitigated unforeseen schedule impacts, achieving a 12-day lead ahead of planned schedule to date. I wish you would have told me how you did that, but you did tell me that you were 12 days ahead of schedule, which is great. They will like that. Establish KPIs and progress tracking systems by using Power BI dashboards, monitor project performance, providing regular updates to senior management and stakeholder. Good bullet point. Then we go down to here. Led planning and execution of whatever that is, ensuring an on-time delivery by developing level 4 schedules and critical path analysis. You told me how you did it. Perfect. So, yeah, I actually don't think you really need to change much of these bullet points, except for this one. This one's a little anemic. You should combine all of these. So tell me more about the project, the client, and the gas installation, and then the rest of this. But you have most of the core here. If you just fixed your formatting, in fact, if you just fixed your formatting and did nothing else, you probably would have a 1 in 20, 1 in 25. To a 1 in, maybe even, yeah, I'd say 1 in 20, 1 in 25 ratio. These are good bullet points. Like, I want everybody to, never format your resume like this, but write your bullet points like this. These are phenomenal. Again, the everybody who's not a manager should not include the numbers, but this is how you do it, right? This is the exact stuff that I'm looking for. Cross-functional teams, achieving progress 12 days ahead of COD. I don't know what COD is, but I know that you did it 12 days ahead. Establish KPIs. Developed a punch list monitoring system by using Power to align the team members. So yeah, these are fantastic bullet points. Some of the best bullet points I have seen that I have not coached on somebody in a very long time. So you should be very proud of yourself for the bullet points. And again, the only one I think you need to change is the first one, which is right here, because it's just not enough. But the others are. But if you just literally change the formatting, you will have much more success. So this is what happens when you have bad formatting. Is, again, you can still pass, but it lowers your chances. So fix your formatting, fix the first bullet point, and honestly, everybody give them a hand, like a clap, because this is real good project management bullet points. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a product manager, not a project manager, a product manager. Those are different jobs. There are a few overlaps, but they are different jobs. So what we need for a product manager is degree. Again, I want to see that you've graduated. The industry, there's going to be very specific industry requirements that I'm not going to be able to catch. That's just because I'm not actually recruiting for this role. So as long as I can tell what industry you're in, and I see maybe 1 or 2 basic tools of those, it should count. BI tools, Microsoft Office Suite, analyzing user data and extracting business requirements from stakeholders and transforming them into product requirements. If a stakeholder says, we want this refrigerator to give you a pedicure, you're going to have to talk to them and be like, okay, so what about the refrigerator makes you, want to help people with their nails? Is pedicure for your fingers or your toes? I don't know. I've had them once or twice, and they feel great. I don't remember. I think that because it's a P, it's the foot. Okay, anyway, you need to be able to extract that from them and make it into clear requirements. I want to see Tableau, Google Analytics, Databricks, SQL, the full story. So basically, again, that kind of goes back to what stakeholders want. A/B testing, Figma, cross-functionally, 0 to 1. Also, if I see anything else that implies 0 to 1, which is from the beginning of a project to the very end and shipping it. How you move teams faster, and again, how you succeeded and the result of that success. That is not a brag. I'm not looking for you to say, I reduced time to fill by 20 million%. I'm looking for you to say, launched our flagship product after on time and under budget for our X and Y. That is how you did that. That is what I'm looking for. So this person says they have a 1 in 75, so this is probably bad, but not like unforgivably bad. And let's see what it. Oh, that is not a right format. All right, there we go. I don't know why my computer did that. So 20 seconds and go. Okay. Can't use this. Where's your education? Okay, you do have it down here. Good. Spearheaded a BC super app for airport passengers, integrating loyalty payments, reaching 20 million end users. That actually is good. Requirements and numbers. Built an end-to-end customer pipeline users from Wi-Fi CRM across 7 airports, streamlining the data. Developed roadmap. All right, and rejected. So yeah, you have a few problems. One is your formatting is an absolute nightmare. 2 is you're kind of giving me, again, more hot dogs than hamburgers, but you do have some, at least 1 or 2 good ones, right? Like, I actually really like this as a first bullet point because you tell me what it is. You told me, like, everything about it. You told me how many people it reached, and that I don't know what total addressable market is, but you did at least tell me the result of it. So this is actually a very good first sentence. I would maybe want a little bit more keywords in it, but still overall good. And then you lose me here, right? Because you already told me what you do here, and then you tell me again what you do. And I don't really care about API data ingestion or improving data freshness. And then again, what is GTM? I think it stands for go-to-market strategy, but the recruiter or hiring manager may not know that. I hope the hiring manager knows that, but sometimes they don't. And I could be wrong. That may not be go-to-market strategy. And again, I like that you did roadmaps, but I don't really care about the number of users. This is an irrelevant number. In conduction, this at least is cross-functional. And again, what is NPS? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Design quick access. This is not related to anything I need. And digital invoice, endpoint loyalty, ETL, fab, automating 50 transaction. Again, nothing. So what about you talking to stakeholders, right? What about you using Tableau, data analytics, SQL, full stories? You did kind of tell me 0 to 1. Figma. You don't tell me quite enough. Now, I will say this is based on the US. You are in the UK. There may be some slight differences, but on average, they're still... most of these should still be accurate. So, what did you read? I have relocated to the UK and I'm struggling to land interviews. Yes, this is a nightmare of a resume. So first off, formatting-wise, you need to fix this. Again, it's actually kind of shocking to me. Normally people have okay formatting and terrible bullet points, but the last resume had phenomenal bullet points and bad formatting. This has slightly less worse bad formatting, but does have worse bullet points. So, yeah, I need you to, well, delete literally all of this. This is not needed. Your education should be up at the top. Is there anything here like a PMP that I see? No, I don't care about that. Is there anything else here? Yeah, your big problem is you just don't have enough. Like you gave me, again, too many hot dogs. I need hamburgers. These are what I need. This is not. None of this is. Your first sentence can stay. Maybe put 1 or 2 other things in there. But otherwise, I need this stuff. And not even all of this stuff either. Some of this stuff into here. Because right now, this is a mess. Like, remember, we have 20 seconds to find what we need. And we're not looking for designed a quick access feature. Again, I will challenge you to look at a job posting and... like, you can put it in the comments. I will eat my words. If you can find a job posting that specifically says We need somebody to design a quick access feature, reducing customer task time by a minimum of 25% and increasing repeated use by 15%. I'll eat my words in the comments, but no job posting is asking for that. I don't think you could ever find something even related. They're going to ask, can you extract business requirements from stakeholders? They're going to ask, have you used Tableau and Power BI tools? Have you done data analytics? Have you done Databricks SQL? Have you done 0 to 1? Which, again, you did kind of tell me 0 to 1 in the first bullet point, although I think it could be more clear. And they're going to want to know, did you use Figma? So I need you to stop trying to brag and give me these unnecessary percentages and give me what I'm actually looking for. And again, maybe in the UK it's slightly different, but I have gotten people jobs in the UK before. I've gotten people jobs in the UK, Canada, Africa, EU, and I think Mexico as well, and Singapore. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a full stack software engineer intern. So what we need for an intern is way different than we need for a full-time role. And in fact, interns should change their resume, even if it's a really good resume, when they're looking for the first full-time role. Because what we're looking for an intern is different than we're looking for a full-time role. So what we need for an intern is degree, a basic knowledge of the tech stack. So in this case, for full stack, it would be like TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, SQL, RESTful API, and maybe cloud. And maybe a little bit of AI. Again, it's pretty popular right now. But that's it. And we also want to know how you can work well with others and take direction and criticism. That is, well, critical. Because, again, this is your first job out of college, potentially. And we want to make sure that you won't freak out when we tell you what to do. So, this person has a 1 in 75. So, I'm expecting to find some things that I like, but not enough to move forward. Unless they tell me something differently in a note, which I usually read after, because I just want to be as unbiased as I can. So 20 seconds and go. Oh, this is hard to read. Degree, good. Don't care. Prototype to B2B aggregator with SQL. Okay, good. Analyze transactions. Power BI not related. React and Node.js. Okay. Leveraging A/B testing, don't care about. Multiple order types, robust. Python, HTML, CSS. All right, yeah, that is it. That is all the time I have. I found almost enough of the tech stack, but I really did not find any work well with others or take direction and criticism. So let me know what this person says, which is, I'm applying for software engineer intern roles with a focus on full stack development, and I have C++ as my primary programming language, as software engineer roles require proficiency in one. That is why I included my C++. That is fine. Please let me know what to fix. I got 2 offers. Wow. But I want to improve this and be ready when the new grad stage in case I don't pull a return offer. Okay, so just to be clear, again, this is for interns. You will need to change this for full-time role. But you need to fix the formatting of this. That is one thing. This is very hard to read. And I do know that the bar is blacking out the information, is making it a little harder, but still, even then, this can be deleted. This can be deleted. I want it to look like this, all right? I don't care if this is a barista, a software engineer, a senior software engineer's resume should look the same as a barista, should look the same as an accountant. The only time you don't want to use this format is if you are a high-level manager or you have a ton of contract roles. That is where this formatting kind of falls apart. So, your formatting is off. Then we go down to here, and I have some of what I want, like SQL, right? It's fine. Actually, no, that's it. All I see is SQL. I where's the full stack, bro? Like, you said you're full stack. I don't see that. Or C++. I think I have to go all the way down here until I see HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And again, this does not count. This does not count. It has to be here. Has to be here. So I would personally redo a lot of these. Honestly, it might be easier to redo this resume entirely. There's not a ton that's salvageable. And I'm trying to look at this to see what else you could do. Yeah, I need more, right? Like that's kind of the hard thing about this is you didn't really tell me enough. You gave me a bunch of hot dogs and I need the hamburger. I need you to show me how you use TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Or in this case, Python if you don't have TypeScript, which is fine. I need to see how you worked well with others. I need to see how you took criticism and direction. And I don't really see that anywhere here. So let's see. Collaborated with a mentor. Maybe that's it, but people can't even see it. I can't even scroll that far down. It's actually below this. Hawk base. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here that is trying to show me how impressive you are, and I get it, right? Like that is, software engineers are by their very nature incredibly competitive. But this is not where you show how good you are at software engineering. This is where you show the basics of understanding of what you're going to be doing, and you have instead used that time to brag, which is why you're having some problems. So if you fix that, again, make the bullet points a little bit clearer, a little bit better, just use TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS to do X and Y, worked as in a team of 5 where we went over each other's work before production, giving criticism when needed, that kind of stuff, and you will have a much easier time, and you should lower your ratio from 1 in 75 to like 1 in maybe 30 or something. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is another full stack software engineer intern. 2 in a row. So what we need is the same as last time. So yeah, let's see if I can find it. This is, let me see. Okay, there's a bunch of questions here. That's good. I'd always rather more questions than less questions. So let me review it first, and then I will read the questions. All right. And go. Okay, worked on JavaScript web dev. Okay, across 2 time zones, through parallel programming sprints. CT module stakeholder requirements and visions. Play multi-cloud Docker ML Kubernetes. Prepped, plated. Okay. Actually, okay, solid. Okay, so this is not bad. The core of this is here. We can make this better. But let me read your questions first. All right, so this is the first tech resume I've written. I haven't applied to anything yet, so be brutally nitpicky. It's not terrible. Like, there's flaws, but this is, I think, better than you think it is. I think my bullets are a little dense. Yes, they are. And repetitive. What do you think my ratio would be? Maybe a 1 in 75, 1 in 65, but the changes aren't that difficult to make. I'm a college software looking throughout my degree. I'd prefer industry opportunities, but can fall back to fast food. We want to make sure you get your right intern. My current apprenticeship is ending in April. It's sponsored by the city. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so then you're... Okay, I'm starting to understand this more. For now, I want to take full advantage of the earlier peak hiring season, start applying for web dev. So, priority questions. Should I cut some bullet points to make room for a summary? You do not need to show your summary, nor for your finance stuff. But you do need to show where you learned how to be a software engineer, right? Like, I think this might be the program, so you may want something else in the education. Nobody reads a cover letter, so you don't really need a cover letter. Should I change my ordering? Your ordering is actually okay. If anything, you just made this too long, and I can tell you how to fix it. I don't mind contract stuff, but I'm looking for longer-term opportunities. You probably won't find anything more than 3 months. Again, you are a junior looking to apply to this. It really depends on how long you have been a software engineer and doing your projects, which I don't actually see, but that's something that's missing in the education. Do you have an opinion on putting startup founding on resume? If you got funding for it, yeah, that's actually pretty solid. Startups do like it when you get funding. So if you have a startup that got funded, even if it was for a little bit and you could sell it, that actually can be pretty impressive on a resume and used. The problem is it's going to be highly dependent on them, knowing what it is and what you've done. See, part of my apprenticeship is a demo. So yeah. Okay. So here's the big problem I have with this is just, I don't have quite enough tech. Right? So if you said full stack and the only thing I see is JavaScript, I need a little bit more, right? I want to see worked on a, let's say, full stack web page using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, or whatever the other backend language was, across in a 2 to 8 person teams through sprint boarding, and then you can keep the other ones. But again, I sprints, and then I think you could just say and API checks. Again, we need to shrink this down a little bit. It's a little bulky, and there's a little too much stuff. Deployed multi-cloud workloads. You could just say deployed on the cloud, right? We don't want it. We don't need to do multi-cloud, whatever. Just what did you do with it? Integrating ML ops. So yeah, I'd like SQL. I just need this to be written slightly differently, and you are in chat right now, so I can help you out with that, because some of these are going to take a little bit, but not too long. And then here, I actually like that you've been here for 4 years. This shows that you can work in a team with others. And what you would actually want to do is combine these sentences and just say worked high-profile events with X amount of guests while performing customer service and working with coworkers. That will immediately show that you can work well with others and take direction and criticism. Then we go down to here. Again, your bullet points are not bad. They're just a little bloated. So I think overall this is an okay start. We just need to, shrink down your bullet points, make them a little bit clearer, put all of the tech stack in the first part rather than the end of the sentences, and remove some of the non-needed stuff. And I think you should have a good shot. Although, again, I do want to know where you learned how to do this. So I do understand this is the apprenticeship. Was there anything else before that, or was this the only thing? Because this is the part that's kind of confusing me, is I'm not really sure what this is or where you learned it, and it's not very clear. So we can make that. But that's all I can do for this person. Please, like, comment, and subscribe if you all are. I would really appreciate it. It really does help me out. If you need any more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I just want to thank all of the members I have on YouTube. I know y'all get a little bit early access to videos, but I still appreciate you subscribing using the membership. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video.